Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of the Hyperbolic Whine Chamber where I train my ability to complain. I am Tom Oliver and today I'm recording much earlier than I usually do these episodes. Usually I record these around like 11:30 at night, but today we're recording at 11:30 in the morning. So I thought it was a perfect time to try out a new wine that I picked up. Fourth Star Brewing Company Maple Breakfast Stout, brewed with real maple syrup. 1 pint in a can. Maple City Series, 6.5% alcohol per volume. Another Vermont small brewery. We seem to get a lot of those here in Massachusetts because we're pretty close by, and there's a big brewing scene over there in Vermont. So this seems like an early morning beer for an early morning kind of podcast. So let's see what we got going on here. Yeah, it tastes like beer. There's a little bit of a hint of maple syrup, but I fucking hate beer, man. I don't know why I buy beer. Every time I'm just like, maybe I'll enjoy this one. Maybe I'll enjoy this one. I don't like the taste of beer. People give Coors Light and Budweiser a bunch of shit because it tastes like water, but like at least water tastes good. You know what I mean? It's probably blasphemy to like lots of beer enthusiasts. The maple syrup, it's very, very subtle. It's very subtle. But it does a little bit to kind of like take the edge off that like piss and barf taste that is beer. So yeah. I'll give it that. I will give it that. It is a beer, but it's one of the less offensive, stronger beers that I've had. What can I say? I'm a rum and vodka kind of guy. Wait, shit! I forgot. I'm gonna like insert this into the beginning. Reminder to self: insert this before I start talking. If you want to help support the wine fund, you can go to the PayPal link in the description and donate wine, money for wine. You can tell me what to talk about and what wine you would like me to drink. I will do my best to find it. I have a local liquor store up the road from me. They have a pretty decent selection, but I am in the middle of nowhere. So if not, I'll get the closest to what I can, because the guy there is pretty good and he knows I don't know shit about wine. So if I have questions, he usually just takes pity on me. So do that. Suggestions are cool. Otherwise, you just get noodly videos like the one I just made that you're about to listen to. Okay. So today we're going to be talking about, I don't know. I guess we're going to be talking about making shit online, and why I'm frustrated with it. And just venting some of my personal frustrations and thought processes behind making stuff. In terms of just like personal development, trying to build a personal brand, and also intermixing my personal brand with the PCP and the effects that it has had, and how I feel it's working and it's not working. So that's what we're gonna dive into today. So I don't think a lot of people who are listening to this, who listen to the PCP, either know that I make things or give a shit. And that's not an accusation. It's just an observation. It's something I've always been very curious about. And not just me. One of the interesting things that I've always tried to observe from the behind the scenes about doing the PCP is like, where do these people come from? What are they interested in? Why are they here? And what happens when like a Digibro fan finds the PCP? What do they do from that point? Do they look into everybody else? Do they just kind of listen to the podcasts and that's it? Do they even stay on the podcast in general, or do they just listen to ones with Digi in it? And the same thing with anybody else. Like if I bring someone to the PCP, are they just going to listen to episodes that I'm in? Are they going to ignore it altogether? Or are they going to explore the other members? You know, because there's this core group of people in the PCP who listen to it that have been following all of us since the Horseshoe days. And I think that makes up the core audience. But we've been growing substantially since the beginning. For the most part, there's been a general upward trend since the start. So there has to be at some point, since no one's doing horse shit anymore. That there's an audience trickling in that has no idea about any of our backgrounds. I would assume the bulk of them are probably coming from, firstly, Digi. There was a phase where there was Monkey, and Nate's getting pretty big now too. So there's definitely, and since Nate's the showrunner, the front runner of the PCP, I'm assuming a lot of the PCP audience has to be coming from him. But where do they come from? Where do they go? Where do the fans go, bro? That's always something that's intrigued me, and there's really no way to like track it. There's no hard data on it. There's no way to really know, because none of us really make posts that say, hey, here's a new PCP episode, go check it out. So it's not like we can go into like the YouTube analytics and track where viewership is coming from. It just kind of happens, and that's something that's always intrigued me. So I've always wondered, like, what do people see? Like, how am I perceived externally, right? That's kind of interesting, because we all have limited perspectives on ourselves. I'm going to have some more maple stout. Hold on a second. I want to say it's growing on me, but it really isn't. How am I perceived externally? What is my persona being projected outward? Because I can observe the persona and the image of everybody else in the group, but I can't observe my own because I'm too connected to it, you know? And the reason I'm interested in that, other than just general curiosity, because like the internet in general fascinates me and how it grows and things evolve and stuff like that. But also, I want, obviously, like one of the benefits of doing the PCP, there's like 3 benefits, right? The first is like I get to hang out with people I like. That's the first one. The second one is I make some money, which is also very important. And the third one is that it can help bolster my personal projects, right? So that's like the 3 benefits to everybody. Like, we all get to hang out because we don't get to do that much otherwise. We all make a bit of coin, which is handy and brings us to our long-term goal of not having to be slaves to the man. And then also, like, we can use each other's audiences that we bring in to build our own brands. My personal brand kind of sucks. And I feel like because it's constantly been in this amorphous, shifting thing, whereas everybody else has very much kind of concretely decided what their personal brand is going to be, that my personal brand and my brand recognition, and even people understanding what I do and if I do anything, has been lost. And I don't blame anybody but myself for that, because I've been in a long transitional period, because everybody in the PCP, with the exception maybe of Gib, and then obviously Mage, because Mage doesn't do much with YouTube other than posting her animations, and like Gib kind of like doesn't want to be the art boy, he wants to be the YouTube. Everybody else is very firmly in the YouTuber camp, and you know what? I take that back. Hippo's there very much in the YouTuber camp, like at this point. So everybody kind of like settled on, I'm going to be the YouTuber, I'm going to do this gimmick. You know, Nate had the best guy ever. Digi is Digi and pivoted to anime. You know, so everybody kind of did their shit, and they've been locked in their shit. And even Ben, who's not really on YouTube, was locked in their shit. He's doing the Vapors and Champion. I have been floating around in space ever since 2015 when I stopped doing MLP. I was like, what am I going to do? I'm going to try writing. Guess not. I'm going to try drawing and comicking. Guess not. I'm going to try doing this Rebel Pixels thing and try and like review art things and talk about art just because I like being an artist and that whole field interests me, like entrepreneurship. I guess not. Maybe I'll try starting an email marketing business. I don't really think this is as hype as all the people making money off of selling courses for online email marketing is really selling out to be. So now I'm in 3D, and I don't think anybody even really knows on the PCP that I do 3D, because I just looked at like some of the past PCP episodes, and they're all linking to my old channel that's dead and I don't even use anymore. And there are people in the comments saying like, well, the only reason Tom's on the PCP is because like he knows these people, and if he didn't already know them, like they wouldn't give him the time of day. And they're right. I don't care what anybody says, they're right. But what I want to do is I want to understand how my personal brand is being perceived, and then fix it so I can more accurately explain who I am, what I do, and why anyone should care. And I guess maybe that's partially the point of doing this episode on this topic, is to be like, hey guys, for all like 300 people who listen to this that care about my personality enough, ironically probably the 300 people who already know exactly where I'm at, what I'm doing, but just in case there's a little bit of dipping in, a little bit of crossing over, a little bit of influx, you know, whatever. I'm a 3D boy now. I've been that since last year. And the beginning of last year, around February, is when I started really focusing solely on doing 3D. I run a blog, polystation2.com, like PlayStation 2, but polys, because polygons. That's the idea. And the gist behind the blog and the website, you can go to polystation2.com, I bought the domain, is that it's trying to like capture the aesthetic of like PlayStation 2 games, and like mostly doing fan art stuff right now to kind of build the brand and like get people interested in it. But that's what I do. Like a lot of people, I guess, I don't even want to say a lot of people, but like I look through all the comments on the PCP. I try and respond because I think this will probably be a topic in a future Wine Chamber. I think we're pretty bad at interacting with audience a lot of the times. I think that's a huge problem with the PCP in general, is that this like kind of meme of like commenter rules is like somehow amorphed and evolved into like actual disdain for the audience, which I think is a huge mistake. That'll be next week's Wine Chamber. I'll probably dip more into that. But because of that, I try and like be someone who tries to interact with audience and stuff just because I enjoy doing that. Probably more than anybody else, maybe. Don't quote me on that. I've never talked to anybody about it. But I feel like I try and be a little bit more active and try and talk to people and definitely respond to questions and stuff when people have them. Because why the fuck not? I don't mind. So, I forgot what my main point was. I want my personal brand to be understood, and that's why I was trying to do this podcast. So maybe people who don't understand who I am and why I'm still here can understand what I'm trying to do, and they can decide for themselves whether it's interesting or not. So that's what I'm doing. I'm doing low poly, PlayStation 2 style, 3D models. Right now, I'm definitely still learning because I've only been doing it for a little over a year, probably like 13 months now. No, it's beginning of March. It's 13 months. 13 months. And that's really my big thing, you know. Like Ben has his comics, Mage has her animation memes, and I'm doing the 3D. But the interesting thing is that, like, in addition to the 3D models, I've been trying to like talk about 3D in an analytical fashion on my YouTube channel, on Tommy Oliver. So if you go to youtube.com/c/Tommy Oliver, a link to all is in the description, if I remember. I have like analytical videos breaking down 3D as a medium, because there's a lot of people who talk shit about like 3D anime and stuff, but they don't understand how 3D works. And they're like, oh, 3D anime looks like garbage, but they don't know why. They just say it looks wrong. But now that I like know about 3D, I can explain why it looks wrong, like the technical reasons that things look different. And in addition, I just like exploring the medium of 3D because I'm in learning mode right now. I'm trying to absorb a bunch of information and figure out how all these things work. So I want to like explain that to people. So that's another thing that I do. But the growth has been bad trying to do that. It seems that every time I put out one of those videos, I lose subs. I lose like 100 to 300 subscribers every time I upload a video. And then if I don't upload for a week, I'll slowly gain back like 50 or so people. I'll upload another video and then it plummets again. So like, it's almost like YouTube is a bad idea. I really like Instagram. I just started using Instagram. And I know that's like kind of like not cool, like, because we're all like PCP, art faggy, kind of like counterculture-y things, and like Instagram and Facebook are really gay. I don't know anything about Facebook, but I really like Instagram as a concept. Because it lets you separate your content. Like the interesting thing is, like, you know how Digi has Digibro, and then you have Digibro After Dark, which is like the more casual vloggy kind of content, and then Digibro, the main channel, is like, this is where all like the serious analytical shit is. Instagram is set up, even though it's much shorter form content, it's not a replacement for YouTube, but in terms of like organization, you don't have to make another thing to like vlog about your niche in addition to doing like main content, because you have Instagram, like the main Instagram, where you post your photos and your videos and whatnot. And then you have Instagram stories, which is kind of like Snapchat. They expire in like a day, and you can like pin like some of the best moments to your profile, but these don't show up on your main feed. They're separated. So you can do all your vloggy casual stuff in Instagram stories. So you can have one account and you can like document making stuff without cluttering your main feed of content, which I just think is fucking dope as shit. And I wish everyone did that. Like Patreon just rolled out like a thing called Lens, which is basically Snapchat built into Patreon, which I think is stupid. I don't think Patreon should be a social networking platform at all. It should be a payment service, and that's it. The whole social thing makes no sense to me. I've never had anyone really network with me on Patreon. It just seems like such a dumb idea. They should just focus on their strengths, which is like taking people's money and giving it to me. But whatever. YouTube has a community tab thing now, which kind of works in the same way. You can't upload vlogs and stuff, but what you could do is you could upload vlogs unlisted and then post them on the community tab. So they show up in your community tab for people who want to look at it, but they're not going to be in your main feed with all your like actual content. So I like this idea, especially on Instagram, because like YouTube community tab is great, but like it's not integrated very well. Like nobody really gets notifications for it. They kind of show up sporadically, whereas Instagram stories is like very much a strong, understood part of Instagram now. So if you use stories, like people get it. Whereas on YouTube, it's not so much with the community tab. It's still a new feature. My whole thing is like I want to communicate my brand effectively. And now that I like have a direction and like 3D is like, this is what we're doing. This is the hill we're dying on. I'm growing slowly, but growing on Instagram. I'm growing on Twitter. I'm growing on Tumblr. Not growing on YouTube. And the YouTube videos, the analytical videos, are technically still kind of off-brand. Because I do like tutorials, which is fine. And then I do these analysis videos, which aren't really the same thing. They're tangentially related to the topic of making 3D, but they're not really the same thing. Like one's a creative thing and one's a commentary thing. So they feel off-brand, and every time I post them, they hurt my channel, not help it. And even more damningly is that I hate doing the work because I hate video editing. So I'm like, maybe I should just stop making YouTube videos for the time being and just focus on Instagram, Tumblr, and Twitter, where I'm actually growing, I'm actually making progress, and I'm actually able to do work on those platforms that I actually enjoy doing. Because like, I try and take Saturdays to do video stuff, because that's when we record PCP. So I'm like, well, I'm already gonna I'm gonna have a block of time where I'm gonna have to record PCP. So I might as well take this entire day and just shotgun as many videos and stuff that I can. But I never get a lot of stuff done because making videos sucks. It sucks so bad. Like whether it's technical problems, whether it's things not working, or it's just me being miserable, usually all three, things just go really slowly. And so it never just takes that one day, it takes 2 days or 3 days, and then like half my week is dedicated to doing things that aren't helping my brand grow and make me upset. Seems kind of stupid. I definitely feel like a pressure to be a YouTuber because everybody I'm friends with is a YouTuber, and YouTube is like the big platform, and it's helping everybody else like become rich, become famous, become successful, and like building a really strong brand. And like you listen to anybody who talks about marketing and they're all like, you got to be on YouTube. There's no reason not to be on YouTube. But if YouTube's not working for me, like should I still do it? I don't know. I like Instagram a lot. I like Twitter a lot. Twitter's like my favorite social media platform. It's super fucking fun. I don't really know why I like it so much. I just do. I was thinking maybe taking all these vlog ideas and video essay ideas and just making them regular essays on Medium. Like, maybe, I don't know. My whole thing is like personal brand, dude. That's what this episode's going to be. I was actually going to talk about just art, but it's turning into a branding thing. Personal brand. My personal brand. I want to grow it. I want to be a personality. But that's the interesting thing, and I talked with Mage about this at one point when we were talking about just PCP stuff in general. Because we're both the artistes. Ben is too, but Ben's a bit better at this than me and Mage are. I feel like me and Mage definitely related to this, is that we don't have bombastic personas. We want our artwork to do the speaking for us. Like, I'd rather be behind the scenes making cool shit, and the cool shit sells me instead of me, you know? And like, Ben has an interesting personality, so even though he's doing like the Champion and the Vapors, and they're fucking amazing, like he has an interesting personality just naturally. So like when he talks, like you can get vibes from him, and like he gels off other people really well. Me and Mage, less so. Like I think Mage has a good personality, but I think she has to like try to do it. It doesn't come naturally. Same with me. I have to like sit down like on a PCB episode and like try and project myself and like try and be a presence and not just fade into the background, because that's just my natural state. Is like I'd rather just sit down, do the work, and let what I do define me and not like who I'm acting like. So I try and do these podcasts to help build a personality. Because now I don't have I'm not competing with anybody else on Wine Chamber, it's just me. So I don't have like a Nate Bestman salesman voice that can like hype up anything. I'm just like mumbling and rambling and getting progressively more buzz. But I just try and be as real as possible, like straight up. If I have something I want to talk about, even if it's weird or uncomfortable or makes me sound stupid, I'm just going to let it out anyway, because that's the best I know how to communicate who I am and how I be. So yeah, I want anybody who comes to the PCP from outside, even if they don't like what I do, I want to at least make it clear what it is I do, so they can make that decision for themselves. You know, it's becoming very obvious as I dig through comments and stuff that nobody knows what I do. I'm not communicating it clearly enough. And obviously just because I've been jumping back and forth, but like, I think we're set. We're going into this year on a year. This is like the longest I've like actually sat down and actually worked on something consistently, medium-wise, in the last couple of years. 3D seems to be the thing that's clicking for me. I enjoy it. I like it. I want to keep doing it. And so I want that personal brand to become something that is clearly understood. But it's difficult because I'm not a guy commentating, right? So like if you listen to Nate bitch about stuff on the PCP, like you're basically getting a little preview of what he does. Because all he does on Best Guy Ever is bitch about shit or hype shit up. So when you listen to like Digi, or you listen to Gib, or you listen to Nate, like you're just getting a preview of what they do on their channel full time. You listen to me, bitch, it has nothing to do with the content that I actually give a fuck about. Because like, I'm not a part of it. I'm just a guy behind the scenes pushing vertices and making textures and like saying, here, don't look at me, look at this. Whereas, you know, a Digibro is like, look at me, I am the product. Whereas I'm like, I'm not important, this is, look at that. Tell me you like that, don't tell me you like me. So, and I feel like a lot of the interest in the PCP is like, it's this cult of personality. And people are more interested in it for the personalities, and they don't care as much for consuming art. They want to consume the personalities. Like, I think a lot of people are into anime because they like watching the discussion around anime almost more than they like watching the anime themselves. I think that is for not a lot of people. I think there is like a very dedicated group of people who consider themselves like critics or pseudo-intellectuals or whatever. Not to disparage anybody, because you can like whatever you want. But I'm saying there is like a group of people I think who watch anime as a prerequisite to be a part of the discussion of the criticism of anime. And I don't know if that's the PCP audience, because I don't know what everybody does. I don't have enough time to like invest in everyone's personal profiles or whatever to figure it out. It's kind of creepy if I did. I don't know. I make 3D models. Please pay attention to me. That's like the underpinning cry for attention that this podcast really is. Is that I feel like I get lost in the shuffle because I've been so disparate and lacking focus. And now that I have it, it's like too late for people to understand. It's like I gotta go back to like all 90-something episodes of PCP and change all the links, probably like to my Instagram or my Twitter, so people can see the artwork I'm doing, as opposed to like a YouTube channel that doesn't communicate it very effectively and I don't think is my best work anyway. Oh God. Oh, building things online is hard when you're not an extroverted, confident person. It's very hard, guys. Let me tell you. Keeping up with these guys who feel like their shit is the shit when you feel like your shit is shit. Ooh boy, it's tough. It's a tricky. There's definitely jostling in every PCP episode. Like, man, I gotta be able to say my fucking piece. I gotta be able to say something witty, but I'm not a funny guy. I don't, my jokes are very reactionary. If you tell me to sit down and be like, Tom, tell a joke, I'd be like, fuck. I'm not funny, I'm not entertaining. 99% of my life is like sitting behind a laptop screen, clicking. And that's what I do. And I hope the fruits of those clickings take me somewhere and give me something. Oh, what was the point? I don't remember what the point was. Let me drink more beer. I had so much fucking rum last night, and I didn't even get buzzed. I was so upset. I just wanted the pain of editing to go away, and it didn't. This is like the worst wine chamber yet, I feel. Usually when I do a wine chamber, I have like a one specific point I want to hammer away at, and then I'm good. This one felt way more all over the place because I'm talking about myself. And again, this kind of goes back into what I was just saying. I don't have that extroverted personality, so when I have to talk about myself, I fall apart because like I'm boring. I don't care. I don't care about me. Just go to instagram.com/polystation2. You'll understand more about me just by looking through those videos than you will listening to all these episodes combined. Like, that's what I care about. That's what I want to be known for. I changed patreon.com/saveme. It's patreon.com/polystation2 because I'm sick of my personality on the PCP has devolved into this guy has a miserable, shitty life and he's a joke. I don't want to be a miserable, shitty joke. I freely admit that my situation is not the best, but I don't feel sorry for myself. I joke about being sorry for myself, but I think the joke has become my primary defining characteristic. Let me fucking tell you, I don't feel sorry for myself. I made mistakes. I have suffered and fucked myself over because I don't have confidence in myself, and I've let other people make decisions for me, and I've fucking put myself in this position, but it's my responsibility and my interest in digging myself out of this shithole and becoming the best person on this podcast, becoming the most successful person, making more money than everybody on here, because despite the fact that I self-depreciate all the time, I think the work that I do is way more interesting than what everybody else on this fucking podcast does, because criticism is gay and making things is by default more valuable than commentating on things. So despite the fact that I kind of mope around and have become this caricature of myself saying, oh, woe's me, patreon.com/saveme, I'm poor and fucked up, I still think that my shit's more interesting and more valuable than anything anybody else does on this goddamn fucking channel. Except for Mage and Ben, because they're both doing art too, so they're excluded from that rant. But that's the whole thing. And Munchie. Investigator. Come on, Munchie. You promised me you'd let me see Whips like fucking a month ago, and I still haven't seen him. Okay? Fuck. I don't know why I'm getting more like buzzed off of this stout than I did on like shotgunning rum yesterday. Maybe I'm just still really tired. I don't fucking know, dude. I want to have a personal brand. I want to like have a good personality, and I want to be known for like my artwork, and I'm sick of being a fucking sad, sorry. I don't want anyone to be sorry for me. Fuck you if you're sorry for me. I don't want to be sorry for me. I don't want anyone else to be sorry for me. If you donate to my Patreon, I don't want you to be like, man, patreon.com/saveme. Like, this guy's got a shitty life. I'm gonna give him $1 because he needs it more than me. No, I want you to be like, patreon.com/polystation2. This guy is totally zeroing in on my nostalgia. The fucking Foss from Hoseki no Kuni designed to look like a PlayStation 2 character straight out of like Xenosaga. That's fucking dope. Like, I'll give you $5. You're the coolest. That's what I want. That's what I want my personal brand to be. I don't want it to be this sorry parody of myself. Fuck that. Sometimes I feel shitty because Nate and Digi have more money and more patrons and more all that shit and more subscribers. But I would hate to have subscribers and money for the work that they do. Why? Because I did when I did My Little Pony, and I was miserable and it felt disgusting. So, fuck that. I don't want to do reviews, which is also why maybe I shouldn't do these analysis videos on YouTube, even though I feel like they're more valuable because at least I'm interested in the subject matter. But even if they took off, like let's say Why 3D Anime Sucks got like 10 million views today, like while I'm recording this, and I got 1 million subscribers, all those people, they wouldn't care about Polystation 2, they wouldn't care about the animation and the 3D graphics I'm doing, they just want more analysis. They probably just want more analysis on anime in general. And I know. So, no. I think this podcast is over. I feel like I'm just rambling now. But go check out my work that matters. Understand, if you've been confused about my personal brand, I am a 3D artist. I'm gonna do lots of cool 3D shit. And my personal belief is that the worst piece of art is more inherently valuable than the best analytical video ever made by context of the medium it's in. fight me if you want. If you want more description on that, let me know. Maybe I'll do a wine chamber on that opinion. But no, I don't feel sorry for myself. Don't feel sorry for me. Okay. Goodbye.